Hi, I'm Brandon Reyes with T.R.U Ball Release and Axcel sites, and today is the instructional video on how to operate and how to adjust your HBX release. Take this into consideration when setting up your release. There are 3 set screws. There's an A, B, and a C set screw, which are all indicated in your instruction manual. Please ensure that screw A, if you're going to adjust it, should have a little bit of tension against it. If it doesn't, take your Allen wrench and tighten up set screw C, which is simply a lock screw for the A set screw. The first thing you're going to want to do is determine whether you want to shoot it with a click or without a click. There is nothing to be taken apart, no springs to be switched from side to side, and no moons to be flipped around from going to a click to a no click. All that adjustment is made in your A set screw here by simply turning it in clockwise or counterclockwise based off of the information in the instruction manual. So, when adjusting your release, always start by taking the A set screw, which is in the top here, and moving it all the way down to where it bottoms out. This ensures that the release will not open or fire. Basically in a safe position, but it just doesn't work. So, to begin to get your release to work, take your A set screw, insert your Allen wrench, and back it off approximately 1/8 to 1/4 of a turn. Now we've got our release functioning, and it's going to begin our process without a click. So I have backed my release off 1/4 of a turn. I can go all the way back to 1 full turn, and that is my range of a very fast setting to a slower setting without a click. So now if I were to shoot my release, there's no click. It instantly goes straight to the edge of the bail, allowing it to fire with no noise. Now if I take my set screw and back it off another 1/4 turn, I will be in the range that begins the click stage. So now I can take my release, and you'll hear a click prior to firing. Sometimes it'll be right on the edge of the click, so if you just put a little pressure on here, on your bail, you can feel the actual bail slide into the click before you even get the bow to full draw. So if that's the case, that is your click line area. So you may need to give it another of a 1/4 of a turn counterclockwise to really feel the click. There was the click, and there the release fires. So now I've got all the way from that 1.5 approximate turns off of my set screw from bottom all the way to 2.5, and potentially even more depending on how much you wish to have of a range with a click. There's the click, and there the release fires. Please also remember when setting your HBX up, the quicker your release gets to the click, the slower the distance after the click is going to be, and vice versa. If you're very slow getting to your click and the way you have your release set up, generally the distance after that click is very short. So if you like it that way, or you want to set your particular release up in that fashion, remember that the quicker to the click, the slower the distance after, and the slower you get to the click, the faster after the click the release is going to fire. Now all these instructions are the same no matter it's if it is with the HBX small, the medium, or the large. Our next step after going from the A set screw is we're going to go to the B set screw, which is our spring compartment. This is going to take a 5/64 Allen wrench, and you simply just loosen the set screw, which should be snug, and this allows you to make a spring change. Now there are 2 different springs that are going to be included in your HBX release. We have a 15-pound tighter coil, heavier coiled spring, and then we have a 4-pound, which is noticeably lighter coils, and they're further apart. Both of these are included in the release. However, please remember that the 15-pound spring, the way Rio Wild shoots his release, is going to be the way that we actually ship it to you, the customer. So if I wanted to change that 15-pound spring and go to the 4-pound spring, like I think most people are going to shoot, just simply insert the 4-pound spring and your set screw with your 5/64 Allen wrench. Lock it down nice and snug so you won't know it won't move. And now you have a different range of weight that it's going to take for the release to fire. Now, to put that into perspective, I've tried my release with the 15, the 4, and no spring, which are all displayed on a chart inside your instruction manual. The distance that it took for me, the way I like mine set up with a click, was approximately 8 to 8.5 seconds with the 15-pound spring, and it was approximately 4.5 to 5.5 seconds with the 4-pound spring, and it was around 3 to 3.5 seconds with no spring at all. So that gives you a relatively vague idea of the difference just the spring change alone can do for you when setting up your release. The HBX is very customizable, not only with size, with the different configurations that you can do with your thumb pegs. It comes with a large and a small thumb peg. The thumb peg can be directly screwed into the side of the release. The thumb peg and teardrop combination can be put on right or left-handed, and also can be put in any of these positions to fit the length of your fingers to your liking. This simply takes a Phillips style set screw and a straight or a Phillips screwdriver, and just snug that up to where it won't move. Preferably, I think a straight screwdriver works best, getting leverage on there and making it nice and tight. So there you have it. Those are the instructions for the HBX release. Please remember some of the important features of the HBX release when you're setting it up. Remember that there is a warning on there, the instruction manual, and this states that we don't want to pull with a lot of pressure on our middle and ring finger. This is going to cause the release to fire. So remember to treat this release just like any other hinge release. Put extra pressure on your index finger and your thumb when drawing, so that prevents the possibility of a pre-fire. Also, an important advice that goes along the same lines is try it on a test string prior to actually trying it on your bow. This can eliminate any possibilities of a misfire should you have it set up incorrectly. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to help you. Please feel free to phone us or visit us at www.truball.com.